This is the rough time notes. This is about slavery and the territories. In this, we're going to start with the jump off. And this is the Mexican-American War. Now, as Americans rolled out to the west, Texas became a prime place to be. And if you want to know more about Texas, there you go. Now, to develop and defend the province, Mexico offers cheap land grants to people coming out to Texas. And the Americans say, "What's up?" And so it was, "What's up, colonist?" So led by Stephen Austin, immigrants began to settle in Mexico. And they were American immigrants. And if you want to know more about Stephen Austin, there you go. Now, in the 1830s, tension between settlers and Mexico got turned up when Mexico banned slavery in 1829. The Americans that were there in Mexico were from the South, so guess what their opinion was? When the ruthless General Santa Anna comes to power in Mexico, settlers became concerned because they want to be their own. They want their own autonomy, they want to be their own government, and they don't want no part of no Santa Anna. And if you want to know more about Santa Anna, there you go. In 1835, Texas rebels against Mexican rule. They declare independence and adopt a new constitution. So now it is the country of Texas. So to crush the rebellion, Santa Anna leads a force against the Alamo, and he decimates everyone in it, including Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett. So he decimates everybody in it, including Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett. And if you want to know more about the Alamo, there you go. There you go again. One more time with some James Bowie and some Davy Crockett. Now, Santa Anna expected the Alamo to scare the colonists to heck, but it became a rallying cry for a Texas win at the Battle of San Jacinto. And they actually capture Santa Anna at the Battle of San Jacinto. It was, remember the Alamo, remember the Alamo. And if you want to know more about the Battle of San Jacinto, look over here. Now, Texas, when they win the Battle of San Jacinto, they force Santa Anna to give up more than the traditional boundaries of Texas and the boundaries that Texas had had for years. Mexico, even though Santa Anna was captured, refused to recognize this treaty, and it starts a border war with Texas and Mexico. Texas elects Sam Houston as the first president of Texas. Houston promptly negotiates with the United States for annexation. So now Texas is going to become part of the United States. He wanted this because he knew that being part of the United States, they're all United States immigrants, and so being part of the United States was a good thing. Well, not all, but most. And if you want to know more about Sam Houston, there you go. There you go again. Now, annexation takes time as the Van Buren administration opposed it, and future administrations supported annexation before Congress did. So annexation took time. The Van Buren administration opposed it, and administrations after him supported it, but Congress didn't. Now, James K. Polk was elected in 1844, and he had a promise. He was elected on the promise to obtain both Texas and Oregon. Congress agrees to annex Texas with the promise of gaining the entire Oregon territory from the British. He actually only gains some of the Oregon territory, which makes a lot of Congress not very happy with good old James K. Polk. And if you want to know more about James K. Polk, there you go. Now, Polk endorsed the Texas Treaty that was signed with Santa Anna, which angered Mexico and inflamed a border war. Congress was not in favor of this war and not in favor of starting a war. So Polk says, you know what? Let's get some Americans shot at. So he sends troops into the contested areas of Mexico in an effort to get the Mexicans to actually attack. Because if they shoot at American troops, Congress will say, hey, it's wartime, dude. Of course, the Mexicans do shoot at American troops in May of 1846, and Congress declares war on Mexico. Now, the U.S. held all the advantages in wealth, manufacturing, population, military training, so the war was very one-sided. They were the bad mamma jammas in this war. And if you want to know more about the American War, there you go. There you go again!